and welcome to Life is Funny That Way. I'm Sarah, almost forgot my name for a second, and I'm here with my mom.
Di Viola. Hello, America.
Well, it's been a while. The last time I know we talked about dating, and I think we were both traumatized, so we took a break.
Never doing that again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we get started, I did want to ask, because I noticed it when I came in, and I was like, okay. I wanted to ask, why are you wearing your pajamas?
Okay. Well, here's my thought pattern. Okay, you know how when you don't clean your house, you go all week, you keep it clean, and then you go a day where you just have a crazy day, and it's a disaster. There's a pile of dishes in the sink. There's laundry everywhere. Underwear on the couch. That crazy, crazy. That is the day that everybody's going to show up. Every single person they're going to come in. They're going to sit on your couch amidst the underwear.
Yeah.
And be like, looking around like, so this is how you keep house. Oh, I swear, every time I clean my house, which is, 95% of the time, nobody comes by. Nobody.
Yeah.
But the minute.
Just like when Dad does like the panic cleaning or the over cleaning.
Yeah.
He's like, we got to scrub the baseboards.
And the window seals.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does that before I can have any company. Oh, we've got to clean out the fridge. And I'm like.
Because people are coming over to look.
If somebody comes and looks at my fridge, I think they got a lot more problems than I can deal with.
I think we should stop inviting them over.
Yeah, I think so. Unless they're going to bring food and put it in my fridge, then I can handle that. That'd be good. But so my theory was that if I wore pajamas today, we would get 1 million views.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody is going to come and look. And then I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I wore my pajamas. And 1 million people saw me. And they're my old pajamas. They're not even new pajamas.
I mean, they match though, at least. They're a matching set.
They're a
There's
matching
no holes
set.
It's not like a, ratty nightgown or something.
No.
So at least you are stylish.
Yeah, I got rid of the ratty nightgown I had for like 17 years.
Yeah. You had that since before I was born.
Did I? Oh, you're thinking of the pink one I had for a long time.
No, I was thinking that blue one.
The blue one. No,
Did
that
it used
to be pink? It might have been. Yeah. Dad was happy when I finally got rid of that. I'm like, yes, it's time. And it was a little bit hard because it had a lot of memories to it. Puke stains, spit up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't know. I've got all my kids' memories on here. Somebody dropped SpaghettiOs on me, and probably me, but yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's why I'm wearing pajamas.
Well, all right then.
Okay.
So our topic, I know that we've kind of joked about this, but I just feel like there's so many out there, and it's been coming up more and more.
Yeah.
And like the topic is conspiracy theories, and it always amazes me what people believe and how they become convinced of these things. Yeah. Because some of them are just...
And these aren't just, mediocre conspiracy theories. These are crazy conspiracy theories.
I'm sure...
They have to be a little cuckoo to believe, just
Yeah, they are on a different
level of crazy.
Yeah. So...
Yeah.
I have one to share, but I would actually like to hear yours first.
Okay. Well, first let's start with the conspiracy theory that everybody in the world has heard millions of conspiracy theories about, and that is the COVID virus.
Right, yeah.
Constant conspiracy theories, right? Everything you can think of.
2020 was a rough year for all of us. So we were all stuck in our house. I mean, we had to make up something.
Had to make up something. Yeah, I got this because I was down by the railroad tracks and breathed in some of those fumes from the train and developed, whatever.
Well, and some people thought that it wasn't even real. A virus, which is crazy.
This isn't real. I'm just deathly ill in the hospital, maybe dying because because I don't know, had a little fever.
They're like, it's a bad flu. And I'm like, yeah, that's what COVID is. It's just got a fancier name.
It's a really bad flu. Yeah. Bad juju flu.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, so the first theory I read about COVID was that the what's the shot?
The booster shot?
The booster shot you're getting for COVID. The shot to prevent you from getting COVID. They are saying when they're shooting that into you, they are shooting in a tracking device.
Okay.
Because everybody wants to know where we shop.
Right.
Right?
Because they can't track us on our phones and our Google searches already.
Right.
Right. And our Wi-Fi and everything else, our satellites, they can't track us that way. It's so much easier to just microchip us. And you know what? More power to them.
Yeah,
Good.
Why not?
Good for you.
Follow me around. I'm okay with that. I don't know why people are so like, I don't know why people are so freaked out about being tracked. It's like, if you want to know my movements, I'll just tell you today I went to work and, then I got up and came home and put my feet up in my bedroom.
I know. I mean, even people who aren't doing anything illegal, they just, I understand you don't like your privacy invaded, sure, but I mean, follow me.
Yeah, really.
I've been following people for a while now.
You're tracking a few people
I've been tracking a few people myself. And I would love to know where to get a microchip. Maybe I should have just convinced one of my ex-boyfriends to get the booster shot.
Yeah.
And then ask for the...
Then you'd know where he went.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, now I'm thinking, I wish they'd had the COVID booster when you were a teenager. They could have slipped that baby in, given me a little device, and I would have tracked.
Wouldn't have even had to call
there
my friends.
She is. I knew she was out at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's over at so-and-so's house. Yeah.
Gosh, I can't even. I saw a meme. This is a side note, but I saw like a video on Instagram or TikTok or something, and it was like making a joke about how like as a teenager you're out at a party in some field and like no like cell phone tracking or anything like that. You're just at some random dude's house at a party in the field at like 2 a.m. Your parents have no idea, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like it hit me, and I was like, the reality of something being able to happen, and I was like, I had no business being in some of those places.
Yeah, you were like, that was me before cell phones. And
I was like,
I know. Yeah, I wish they'd have had that booster when you were, or even cell phones. They came later.
And I'm not sure why anyone would want to track most people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
why? That's what I can't figure out. I'm like, I just live an ordinary life. Why would anybody want to track me?
Why do you want to microchip me?
I mean, just watch the podcast. You'll hear all about my life.
Yeah, I'll tell you everything.
We'll tell you everything.
If you're not going to charge me for it, therapy's expensive.
Right.
I got a copay every time.
Yeah, we don't want to pay. We'll just tell you our problems.
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
But here's the second thing I heard about COVID, or they said about COVID. The COVID virus is not really a virus. This is according to an alternate medication guru.
Oh, that sounds...
Alternate medicine guru.
Sounds legit.
Yeah, sounds legit. And it's on the internet, so you know it's true.
Obviously.
Yeah. So it's not really a virus.
Okay.
Apparently, the Catholic Church...
Bringing them in.
Bringing them in like they always get roped into stuff. Is injecting people with snake venom. And that's what's making them sick. That is what I read.
So if everybody who's getting it, so how do they know they've been injected? So they're are the regular Catholics getting injected and then passing it to people who aren't Catholic?
I don't know. I'm wondering. wondering, like,
How
apparently,
does that work?
Apparently,
And
if
snake venom is contagious.
yeah,
I thought you had to be.
you had to bite somebody, maybe.
Yeah, maybe
you
that's
get,
what it
you
is.
get the snake venom, you bite somebody.
Anyone
and
bites you, go get a COVID test immediately.
Get somebody suck the poison out of you.
Jeez, yeah. Can someone?
So I'm thinking, if this was the case, would you not notice the Pope hanging around and lurking around in your bedroom with a syringe?
Right.
I mean, would you be like?
That's the thing, and it's like you go to church to take your sacrament,
Right,
and
right.
what are they also just like injecting you with some
Yeah,
snake venom?
it's so ridiculous, and I'm just like,
So, and that was the guru's theory.
yeah.
I wonder if he's like a competitor of the Catholic Church or something. Maybe
I don't
he's
know.
not.
He was an alternative medicine guru.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I just was like, I didn't even know how he came up with that. I was like, how would you even explain that? Like, this is how I found out. This is how I witnessed this. I mean, how would you even
snake
start
venom?
something like that?
Because snake
Yeah.
venom
Kills
is
you.
yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean, COVID
poisonous.
kills you, but
Deadly. It's like
you don't
those
linger.
are like instantaneous effects.
Yeah, you don't linger for weeks.
It doesn't. Yeah.
With a snake bite. And here's another thing. Is snake, if you're injected with snake venom, is that like when it gets in, they bite you when it gets in your bloodstream? Is that why? Because if snake venom, if you eat it or ingest it, it goes through your stomach, it doesn't hurt you.
How do
But
you know that?
That's
Why
what I
do
was
you know
told.
that?
America, is that not true? That's what I was told.
And who told you that? Who are you talking to that's telling you it's okay to ingest snake venom?
Because hear what I was taught as a kid. When I was a kid,
Did Grandma teach you this?
no,
Okay.
believe it or not,
Another random person.
Grandma
who's on
had
the same wavelength.
same
Okay.
wavelength. Grandma had nothing to do with this. We had health classes at school where they went over first aid, and one of the things they covered was snake bites, and that's probably because back then kids actually played outside, and you could be bit by a snake. I mean, it could happen. So anyway, they told us to cut like a little, it's either a little X or a little slit above the bite and suck out the poison.
Yeah.
Haven't you ever seen those Western movies
Yeah,
where the guys
you suck it out. Yeah, but
So if you swallowed a little,
okay, so if you swallowed it,
Right.
they're like, if you ever have to,
yeah,
suck
nobody's
out snake
drinking it.
Because I was like, why are they teaching that, especially in school?
Yeah.
And you know, no offense to anyone, but I'll give you a ride to the hospital, but I'm not gonna suck your
Out the
snake venom out.
poison.
Honestly, like,
Well, to be honest, I never planned on that either. If you kids got bit by a snake, I was gonna be like, well,
how
I'm
much
sorry,
time
baby.
do we have
How much time do we
to
have
get
left?
you there? If not enough time, let's
Yeah.
just make you as comfortable as possible. Sorry about
Because
the
I got
luck.
bad news. You're going to die.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I will not be sucking out that poison. But this is what they taught us. Like, it's the simplest thing. You just cut this slit above your, I don't know if you tied something on to keep it from spreading. I cannot remember. I just remember the sucking out part.
Yes.
And I was kind of disturbed by this when
Yeah,
I was a
I'm
child.
disturbed by it now.
When your friend gets bit by a
When
snake,
your friend,
you want to suck out the poison.
and also, where are you guys playing? Where would you be outside?
We are out playing on the wood pile or somewhere climbing around
Well-
the forest where kids used to be normal and they used to go out and play, right? You know, they don't do that anymore.
No, they don't. But I'm not necessarily sure it's normal to be playing around snake-infested areas. Doesn't sound safe to me.
We were in the swamp.
That
We
sounds
could
like
watch
an
out for
accident
alligators.
waiting to happen. A big accident waiting to happen. Yeah.
Alligators and, snakes.
Well,
So those were just, there's many, many, many theories about COVID, but those were just two that struck me as a little bit way out there.
A little cuckoo bananas.
Yeah, cuckoo bananas.
As I like to say.
Yeah. That's the word. Yeah.
What else you got?
Okay. This one, I was like, okay, are there people really believing this? So, someone believes, or I want to say someone, I pray there's just one person out there who's cuckoo bananas that is like the one person who believes this. But the fact that it's been said in other countries are saying the same thing, there's not just one person. So they are saying, they're saying the U.S. government and other governments, world governments, are run by reptilian humanoids.
Oh, that's the one I was going to tell you about.
Oh, well, tell me what you heard.
But you tell me. You tell me.
Is that the one? You could tell me.
No, tell me.
Okay. So...
Yeah, I heard Taylor Swift is a reptilian too, and I love her. And I'm like, she's
a great reptilian.
I want to be exactly like her. So sign
Go
me up.
Reptiles. Yeah, Addie's now studying frogs in the zoo. He's doing a little volunteer work at the Hogle Zoo in Utah. Yeah, for the frogs. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But apparently, the thing is, let's face it, with majority of politicians, we can see where they're getting
they are kind of a bunch of snakes.
Reptilian, humanoids. The whole reptilian thing they've got going on. So, yeah.
And it's just, and what is the theory? Like, because I had to pull up, but like, it's just that they are just secretly reptile, like aliens, right?
Right. They're not really human. They're like a combination of they're reptiles, but like they have a human skin. It's like those movies where the aliens land and they take over someone's body and they're really a lizard, but they appear as a nice guy who buys your kids candy. Might be a possible date for you. You've probably dated a reptilian person and not known it.
Well, I figured it out the hard way.
You knew. Yep.
I knew. Well, and the thing I don't understand about that is because what I heard is they are from a different planet.
Oh.
And they're they used to be worshipped as gods. Like they used to be known about in the very early days of civilization. And I'm like, all right, I'll bite. But it's like, what's their goal? If we don't know about them now, it's like, okay, well, you're in power. Why not just take off your mask then? Like, why do you think?
Yeah.
If you are in a power, then just be your reptile self.
Yeah, be real, man.
What do you want?
What is their end goal?
I do like to know what people's motivations and end goals are. It's like when people commit crimes. Yeah, we just want to know why.
What are we going for here? Yeah. And I cannot answer that question. What would a reptilian?
How does it benefit the reptile?
Yeah. What would a reptilian humanoid get by running the country?
And
wait a minute there.
If it's true they're reptilians, I mean, why are these people concerned about it? It's like, all right, so they're secret reptiles, big deal.
Well, do they think they want to eat us, maybe? But if they did, wouldn't they have eaten us by now?
Yeah, maybe.
Wouldn't it be like, okay, today we're going to eat 5,000 of the human people. We're going to secretly catch them and eat them.
Might be a great idea to just kind of reduce some of the population, some select people, but okay.
We're going to eat 5,000 hardened criminals today. We're going to take them out.
Or idiots.
Yeah. Nobody will notice they're missing.
No.
Yeah.
Nobody would look for them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I would.
So, yeah, it's like, what's the goal and what's the problem? If there really are reptile people living among us, it's like, okay.
Right, because if they were going to harm us, this theory's been going on for a while.
Yeah,
so
a long time.
Wouldn't they have done something by now? Made a move, for whatever they were after?
I don't know. They're controlling our minds, apparently.
Well, does it say they have that power too, where they could just control us?
And that's what I thought. And it's like, well, you're not doing a great job.
They're tracking
really
us.
Bad decisions. So you're not.
You're not.
Like, should
maybe they are controlling you.
It's like, should you be in charge if you're not?
They're tracking us with the COVID.
Yeah, it's like it says lizard people control the world is what it says.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure.
I just want to know who thought that up. Who was like, yeah, I really think that guy's a lizard.
Maybe as a child, someone heard their parents talking about politicians and lawyers are all a bunch of reptiles, all a bunch of snakes, and the kid never got it explained to him, and so then he grew up and...
I mean, I just wonder who was watching TV one day, saw, some political figure and said, that guy looks like a lizard.
And I wonder which political figure it was,
Oh, I know some that I think are lizards, but
we
won't go there. We won't go there today. We try not to get political.
Yeah.
Right? Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so that one's baffling to me.
Yeah.
I would like, really, if you're going to do a conspiracy theory, what you ought to do is put like a couple paragraphs of explanation.
Really? Like an in-depth explanation.
Below the conspiracy theory.
Tell us why.
Right.
What the end goal is. Tell us why we should be worried. I mean, they
why we should believe you. Convince us. Don't just say something. Convince us. See, because this happened to me, and I was walking down the hall, and I saw a guy come out of the bathroom, and he had a tail of a lizard as he slithered down the hallway.
And it's like, okay, well, some people have tails. So, but why does it matter?
Some people have tails?
Yes.
Do people have tails?
People can add anything to their bodies these days, okay?
Tails?
Yeah, I'm sure they can.
Okay, this is another conspiracy theory that she's telling me is real now.
Mom, people can get things like horns implanted in their heads. Yeah. So,
I am not surprised that any of this can be done nowadays. I'm surprised as to why.
That's what I'm saying. Just tell me why.
Just tell us
Just
why.
Tell me why.
And then we'll be like, okay.
And why is it important for us to be
cuckoo
concerned?
bananas. It's cuckoo bananas, but okay.
Yeah. Look, if I'm going to jump on a crazy train, you need to give me a good reason.
Yeah.
I've learned my reasons aren't always great. Reasons aren't good enough, so...
Yeah. But yeah, you need to have some explanation below the conspiracy theory, like explanation,
honestly, just make a
reasons
pamphlet,
why.
Yeah. A informational pamphlet.
Pound out pamphlets along with your theory when you're at rallies saying the lizards are gonna take over.
When you're in the psych
Here's
ward,
a
you
pamphlet.
should have time to make
when you're in a straight
they
jacket.
They let you color there.
Oh, they do let you color. You've been okay. I've been too.
Everyone should go at least once in their
Everyone
life.
needs to go cuckoo bananas just once.
Just once.
But yeah, so definitely a pamphlet. I do agree with that. Yes. So what was my other one? Oh, this was actually a conspiracy theory that was not really a conspiracy theory. It was more of a lesson about conspiracy theories.
Okay.
These people in this group it's called The Birds Aren't Real.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of them?
You know, I've heard that people think that birds are not real, that they are like robots or something, and
that they believe they're surveillance drones.
Yeah, and you know what? Fine.
Those drones eat a lot of my bird seed every day.
See, here's my thing though. This might be something I could get on board with, but I've always wanted to be able to speak with a bird because they have all the gossip. They know everything.
Yeah.
You know they know everything.
I know they know it. They see everything. Bird's eye view.
Yeah. They see everything. They just like sit on your little porch and eat your bird seed.
Yep.
And they probably hear a lot of gossip, a lot
They
of tea,
probably
and I would
do.
love.
They can fly around your neighborhood and look in all the windows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could.
Better than a hair salon. Better than you'll find.
Yeah, why go hang out at the hair salon? You can just sit out with the birds. Yeah.
So birds aren't okay. The birds aren't real group.
So apparently this started as, by them saying the birds aren't real.
Okay.
They are surveillance drones. And then as it evolved, it kind of got more and more out there and more bigger. And then they finally said, okay, this is not really a conspiracy theory. This is a evidence of what happens, how misinformation theories thrive. Misinformation thrives. So they were saying they started that theory
to teach us all the lesson.
to teach us all a lesson. Shame on us.
Theories.
Shame on us, America.
One could say the conspiracy about this is it's the reptilian people making up that it's a lesson, that they're tricking us. That they're like, just kidding, what you heard, they killed the people, they ate the people who were in the Birds Aren't Real group, took on their faces, and they're like, just kidding, like, we were just trying to teach you a lesson.
Right.
But the birds are surveillance.
So this is what is real. The
birds.
COVID injected snake venom is turning people in the government into reptilian,
right? So the
reptilian humanoids,
actual
and they are also doing the chips. So
the
we're all being
reptilian people are Catholic. They are Catholic,
faithful Catholics. Yes.
And they created the booster shot to inject people.
Yeah.
With microchips.
Yes.
For some reason.
And using drones to track the people with the microchips.
Yeah. Every microchip comes with a bird.
Yeah.
That follows you.
With the drone, your own private drone.
Yeah.
I think we should put that online. Somebody out there who's cuckoo bananas will be like, that sounds like it's very logical.
Legit.
Sounds like it could be true.
We
could start our own rally.
I still, and here's the problem though, is I still don't, why do the Catholic lizards want to track us? Okay, so it's like, we still need that for our pamphlet.
Yeah, poor Catholic people, we're oh gosh, Catholic lizards. Oh my gosh, yeah, this conspiracy theory stuff's gotten way out of hand on this show.
Yeah, well.
We've connected all the dots, America. Now you know.
And this is your lesson. We're teaching them a lesson.
We're helping you.
Are we?
We are we are giving you misinformation so that you learn that a lot of conspiracy theories are just misinformation. But if it's on the internet, it must be true.
I mean, yeah. I diagnose myself with things all the time.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a doctor.
You're constantly texting me when I'm like, I don't feel well. I think I've got this disease, and you're like, I think I've got Alzheimer's, and you're like, Mom, get off WebMD, Mom.
WebMD,
Stop. Get off WebMD.
I think maybe you just need to talk to a Catholic lizard moving forward. You know what? No, not them. So. You need to get yourself a guru because they know all this stuff. So really, the guru is like the go-between.
Yeah, I need to go see one of my mom's old doctors. They're not living anymore, probably. I need to go visit the tombstone.
Your mom's old doctor a murderer, or his son was a murderer?
His son turned out to be a murderer.
Okay.
That's a whole nother story, America. I bet you'd love to hear that one. That one's not a conspiracy theory. That one's true.
Shock, Mom. It was very true.
Yeah, he blew up a van.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go into it sometime. It's very interesting.
And we just got real dark.
Oh, you don't think lizard people?
The Catholic lizards just
lizard people
They're not dark. Come on.
They're
They just
fun-loving people. Fun-loving
maybe
reptiles.
they got stuck here. Maybe they got stuck here from whatever planet they came from.
Yeah.
Or realm or what.
So they're not bad reptiles.
Not that we know of.
They're probably going to be in the study of frogs that Addison's doing. He'll probably have some humanoid reptiles in there.
Good for him.
And we'll say, let us know how it goes. If you find out their purpose, that would be great.
If you get bit, you're on your own. You know?
Yeah. If you get bit, we're not sucking up the poison. We will miss you.
Send the baby over.
Miss you.
We'll take the baby.
We'll take the baby. You will, hopefully pass quickly.
It's painful to get bitten by a snake.
Yeah. That's one thing I almost stepped on a copperhead one time. I was walking through see, snakes do exist. I almost.
The conspiracy is snakes aren't real.
Snakes aren't
not real.
We're progressing the conspiracy theory now.
Snakes and birds
That's
aren't
how
real.
it starts.
Birds are real, but the snakes aren't.
Yeah. It just slowly gets more and more progressed. But yeah. So I almost stepped on one going through my aunt's pasture. And my uncle was like, oh, don't step there. And I was like, it was like right here. And I was like that. And I saw a copperhead and they're poisonous. And so I was like,
well, it's got a name of
immediately,
it sounds poisonous by the name.
Yeah, copperhead. Yeah, I immediately like froze. Like you always hear, if a snake sees you freeze. I mean,
why did they tell you that?
I don't know. That's what we were
Should you just like turn around and run?
Yeah, you would think. But that's what they told us, is to stay still. But the thing was asleep. It was coiled like in a round little circle. It's like, not like he was looking at me like, you take another step, I'm going to bite you.
I'm going to put a tracker in you.
Right. Yeah, you're going to get COVID.
You're going to get COVID, yeah. I'm also Catholic. I'm a Catholic.
Yeah.
I'm glad we figured some things out after all these years.
Yeah. Yeah, now we know. And who knew that this was on the internet for us to find all these years? And we never heard about any of this. Well, I think the reptile.
I've always trusted politicians.
Yeah, you would never think there was any reptiles among that crowd, would you?
Snakes are corrupt.
Snakes or
people.
Yeah. Anyway, this was fun.
Yeah, it was good comical break. I mean, I guess every time we chat, it's comical.
Yeah, it is.
And you got to do it in your comfortable pajamas.
So, come on, America, we need 1 million views so I can be publicly humiliated.
I feel like this would be the episode that we get a lot of views because maybe we should hashtag it reptilian people. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what that does.
Or snake venom, COVID.
But
Catholic snake venom.
Not sure what kind of followers
maybe
we get,
we should start selling it on the internet. Little jars.
Mom, that would go great. That would go over well. I'm sure we wouldn't be
arrested. Yeah. So, but yeah, let's hashtag it with something. We'll hashtag it. As soon
Catholic reptiles.
As soon as I figure out what that is, we're gonna do it.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for listening, and remember,
life is funny that way. Oh, this thing never wants to turn off on me, America. I had it upside down.